So we're welcoming Tony today to Take 7. Tony, Managing Director of Swarovski here in Australia and New Zealand. Can you just talk through a little background to Swarovski?
It's a crystal company and it was founded by Daniel Swarovski. He developed the first machine to cut crystal. Didn't want to be copied, so he moved to a little town in Austria called Wattens, where they had plenty of water for his electricity. And he started making an imitation of a diamond out of crystal there. When we first started our consumer goods business, it was more a collector's brand. So while we have those older people that still collect, the younger people don't. So we've had to reinvent our brand in a way and become a fashion brand.
Well, you see it on the red carpets. You know, the movies are wearing, Swarovski crystals. So it's clearly worked. How did you evaluate that you had to make that shift? Was it just the demand had dropped off? How was that working?
Probably a bit of luck, really. It's something that we've always been into is jewellery, obviously, but starting the company with an imitation of a jewellery stone. But since we started our retail activities, it's just taken off, and we're probably 70%, 30% now, 70% retail.
And it's an amazing shop experience itself. I mean, I've seen some of the newer fit-outs, some of the new shops that are around at the moment. Why are you, revamping what's been very successful initiatives?
In retail, you generally revamp every 5 years.
Okay.
While our retail expansion is not going to be that great anymore, we're pretty much in what we class as the A-class shopping centres. And once we drill down from there, it gets a little bit more difficult for us.
In terms of understanding the local markets, do you run any workshops, any consumer sentiment type surveys just to understand what that means?
No.
No. You don't do anything like that? There's a good answer.
No, we've got 600 people working on research alone in the head office, and they handle all that.
Okay.
We get the goods packaged already for the consumer.
Okay, so the challenge for you is hitting a sales target more than anything.
Is our distribution, yeah. Our challenge is the distribution.
Okay. Now, what we haven't spoken about is your competitors.
Interesting topic.
It's an interesting topic on itself. How do you view the state of your competitors here in the marketplace, and has their behaviour actually changed over the last couple of years?
Not an easy one to establish who exactly is our competitor, or competitors. And there have been a few that have popped up in recent years. We're not going into names or anything, but and have been quite successful in supplying more so a fine jewellery range into the wholesale market, and also to some extent retail as well. And that probably is our most aggressive competitor at the moment, and the one that probably would trouble us the most if we were to look at it. Okay. So we're taking a leaf out of their book and firing back, doing the same thing. We're hoping to put on another 50 wholesalers in our fashion.
Right.
Supplying jewellery to them, and that's probably our key area that we're targeting this year. While we supply it already to our own retail trade, our Swarovski shops, and that's 70% of our business already, and it's something that we're working on to prepare a package for the wholesale trade this year, which is that's where our growth in sales will come.
So Tony, any changes that you see in the way your business behaves globally versus locally?
Well, if we talk about the GFC, it did not really have a great effect on us, and I think in general retail was still quite strong through the GFC.
Just here in Australia, or more broad?
Just here in Australia. Okay. If we look at our business on a whole, yes, it definitely did have a great effect on us, and especially our manufacturing side of the business, which we supply the loose jewellery stones to manufacturers who make jewellery and the like. Okay. And that's been difficult. That's been difficult through the GFC.
People are talking about these new channels, these new communication channels, Twitter, Facebook, whatever they are. What's your view?
At present, impact zero. When I do look at Facebook sites or get invited myself to join Facebook sites, I think, well, why would I do that?
So, Tony, what that means is you've got an account, Tony. Is this what you're telling me?
No, I don't have an account. Look, I'm sure we're looking at it as a company, but to me personally, or to the local organisation, we're not.
Okay, so in summary, are there 2 or 3 things that are going to make your business a success that you absolutely have top of mind going forward over the next 12, 18 months?
Well, branding is number one for us.
Right.
It's been the key. We've invested a lot into branding the product, and our establishment of our retail trade has done a lot to establish that brand, along with communications. Through our rollout of our new architecture, that's all part of our branding process to establish Swarovski as the leading jewellery supplier in the world, or leading costume jewellery supplier in the world.
Okay, so number 1, branding. Number 2, I'm going to push it.
Number 2, distribution.
Right.
Is definitely another key. And as I said, we're working on growing our distribution in our multi-brand trade. That will be the key for the next 3 years for us to grow in sales.
Tony, on behalf of Take 7, thanks very much for participating today and sharing some of those great views.
Thanks for the invitation, Rob.